Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. This is Natasha with I Love Tier Tray Decor, and I love tier trays. If you love tier trays too, or if you love farmhouse style, then girl, you are in the right place, because every week we're gonna drop a video with some tier tray or farmhouse inspo, some DIYs. So come on back, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a thing. So today we have a fun DIY plan for you. We are going to make a farmhouse riser, which is going to be really good to use on your tier trays or just even your displays. So are you ready to get started? Let's go, girls. All right, girls, let's get started. All you'll need for this project is some ball knobs. I got these from Hobby Lobby. Ball knobs. I will post, hey y'all, I'm making a blog post that goes with this video so you can get all the tools and supplies that you need. You're gonna need some wood circles. I got these are wood plaques from Walmart. They were only $1. Wood plaques, ball knobs, beads that I got from Amazon, and the glue gun. And you're also going to need paint colors of your choice. So I'm just gonna take this off. This project is probably gonna take us less than 15 minutes. Let's see how long it takes. So you'll need 2 of these, okay? You will need 2 of these plaques. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some beads, hot glue them around. Let's see. Next, we're gonna take each of the little beads and we're gonna hot glue them around the edge of the circle plaque. Now for this DIY, I chose not to paint everything up front. I'm gonna paint them at the end, but you could do either. You could paint the beads first and paint the little wood circle plaques first and then glue, or you can paint, or you can do everything first and then paint later. All right, so we got that on there. Now I'm just gonna take my top layer and I'm going to glue it on top. There's so many different paint colors that you could choose to paint this riser. We're going to use a brown faux wood finish on ours, but you could choose almost any color to paint with. Next, I'm going to take some wipes and I'm going to put a little bit of the paint on my baby wipe, and then I'm going to wipe it across the round plaques. And so what I'll do is I'll wipe it on and then I'll take a wet wipe and then wipe it off. And I'll continue to do that until I get the shade that I want. So as I'm going around this, I'm thinking to myself, would it have been easier for me to just paint the plaques and the beads up front and then glued everything together? And in theory, my thought process was, let's just put everything together and then paint, because I would save time and I would also save paint. But it turned out that it actually took probably about the same amount of time to do either. So that's why I'm thinking you could do it either way. You can paint first or you could paint later after you glue. I also decided that the baby wipe method would not be a good way to paint the individual beads. So I went and grabbed a brush, and now I'm just taking my paint and I am going around the beads and painting them brown to match the top plaque. Make sure that you get inside of all of those nooks and crannies so that you don't have any of the unfinished wood showing through. And that's the part that kind of ends up making it take the same amount of time as if you had went ahead and painted it in the beginning. Another thing that I thought of to make it look a little bit more rustic is I took a little bit of white paint and a dry brush, and I dipped the brush in the white paint and kind of dabbed a lot of that off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a dry brush, and I'm going to just kind of wisp it around or wipe it a little bit on the little bead to make it kind of look kind of like the wood beads are kind of rustic and kind of older looking, if you will, like they've been aged a little bit. So that's one thing that I did to kind of make it a little bit more rustic. You don't have to do that at all, but I like my stuff to be a little bit more farmhouse, a little bit more rustic, so that is what I did right there. So here's an example of what to do if you feel like you got a little bit too much white on there. Take a baby wipe, wipe a little bit of the white off, and then go back in with some of the brown paint and wipe along where you feel like you have too much white and kind of blend it out a little bit better if you feel like you get too much white paint on there. Right now we're going to flip it over and paint the back. I'm just going to use a paintbrush and paint it because this is the bottom of the riser. Not many people are going to see this part, so I'm just going to take my foam brush and put it on the brown paint and get it, make sure that it's completely covered so that none of the unfinished part is showing. All right, just for funsies, I wanted to see what would happen what I would need to do to make this look a little bit more rustic-y. So I took a little bit of white paint, a baby wipe, and I wiped on a little bit of the white paint, and then I'm gonna wipe it off just to make the riser look a little bit more aged and rustic-y. I'm not really sure if I like how it turned off or not. I think it looks good. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you think the look that it looks rustic enough for you. Okay, everybody, we are in the home stretch of making our riser. So I'm going to take the wood balls that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to need to paint them so that they match the colors that we are using in our riser. I could have probably did this earlier when I was painting the riser, but to be honest with you, I kind of forgot. So I'm going to go ahead and paint them now. So I'm just going to take the baby wipe and I'm going to put the brown paint on the baby wipe, and then I'm going to do like just 1 or 2 coats on the wooden balls. All right, so I'm going to flip over my riser, and I'm going to use a combination of wood glue and super glue. I like to use light Loctite glue, and I'm going to figure out where I want to put my balls on the bottom for my riser. So I'm going to use 4 wooden balls, and I'm going to put them directly across from each other around the bottom of my tray. I actually am going to use a little bit of hot glue, not super glue, but you could use Loctite glue if you wanted to. So I'm going to use a combination of wood glue and my hot glue gun. The wood glue is going to make it stay like a long time, like make it a lot more durable. And then the hot glue is going to make sure that it adheres faster. All right, I think we are almost done. Now let's see what it looks like if we put some signs and greenery on it. Let's see what it looks like. I think it's going to turn out really well. Oh my Gosh, I can't even with how adorable this riser turned out. And we used our stay a while printable sign on there with a little magnolia that I got from Walmart. Let me know what you think of this fun DIY. I need you guys to blow up my comments and let me know if you would try this DIY and if you are a fan of risers too. Looks like we made it all the way to the end of another great video. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on all of our newest videos. See you next time.